Hi folks, Tony here, and this is the audio that I promised I'd do after my most recent talk in Gothenburg, Sweden. There are three questions that I didn't get around to doing before we ran out of time, which is always the case, so here they go. One person wrote at the top of their piece of paper, "So what's the trick," in inverted commas, and then put 4 bullet points, and the one I didn't get to was, "So what's the trick with barking at the doorbell?" Okay, well, if we understand that a dog doesn't understand the concept of the doorbell, and it doesn't understand the concept of visitors, what the dog is doing is saying, is this a problem? When dogs bark at something, it's about danger. And too often what happens is the dog has got the job of leader, therefore it's not only got to alert everybody, it's got to protect them as well. So that means that dog's bark can be more panicky, and they can get into a panic and a stress. So the best thing to do here is to let the dog know, if you remember from the talk, what I said is the subordinate wolf will signal to the alpha. When the alpha gets there to make the decision, that's the job done. So what we've got to do here is show the dog that its job is not to defend the pack, but to let you know, and you'll deal with it. And it sounds crazy, but what I want you to do is to thank your dog. That's the first thing I want you to do, say thank you. Because you know what usually happens? People get upset and they shout at the dog, and the whole energy of this situation becomes negative. We want it to be positive and calm. So the first thing is thank your dog. It's funny that on the foundation course in Vallentuna, just before I went to Gothenburg, one woman right at the front said, "You know, it sounds so stupid, but I did that and it worked." And it's like, oh, funny that. How about that? Fact is, turn it into a positive thing. Let the dog realise that actually its job is to alert you, and if you sound positive about it, that's going to have a positive effect on the dog. So, next one was, let me have a look. When a dog gets afraid of something on the walk, what's the best thing to do? This particular dog often gets afraid of screaming children or sudden moves. Now again, remember, dogs in a world it doesn't understand. You know, outside in the big wide world, there's 1,001 potential threats. And, you know, if you remember from the talk, I was talking to you about being happy and in control from the moment you even think about going for a walk, because then what you do is you show the dog that you are the decision maker. So dogs get afraid and panic and aggressive because they think they're the decision maker. Now, if you've done all that work that I suggested you do, remember you were there, if you still get to the scenario where your dog sees something and then starts to react that way, the best thing to do, if you're on the lead, is to walk in another direction away from the screaming child or the sudden move. Because what you're doing there is a calm version of the first means of defence, which is flight. And don't even try and talking to your dog. If a dog's panicking, don't try it. So what I want you to do is to walk away. There will come a point where he will calm down when he gets further away from that problem. And when he's calmed down, then I want you to throw in a little bit of stop, start, change direction to show him, to remind him, I make the decisions out here. Third question. We have started applying Jan's tips from her books, but still after 3 weeks, the dog still jumps up when we get home from work. And there's an etc there. So, you know, the etc could be anything. Let me tell you, 3 weeks is not a long time for some dogs, you know, because think about it, you know, that you're asking them to trust you with their lives. So do not be surprised if they actually do test you a bit. The fact is to make sure that you're doing the right thing when you come in. If you're still jumping up, then pay no attention, do the golden 5 minutes. Remember I talked about that on the talk as well. And then wait for him to leave you alone. If some people are reacting to him jumping up, then he's getting the kind of behaviour which means he knows it's going to work next time. So be consistent and be patient, and you will get what you want. Okay, well that was a quick one this time because those are the 3 questions. So thanks to everybody for coming on the talk in Gothenburg. It was a great pleasure, and hope you enjoyed it, and look forward to seeing you maybe again sometime in Sweden. That's all for now. Thanks for listening.